I don't hear anything.
You don't, but I got it on Spotify. It's the Arrival of Tatooine and the Flag Parade. This is episode 1, Phantom Menace.
All right. Oops. All right, let me turn this down. Okay, what's up, everybody? It's Edwin back again for Strictly Comics, and we are and joining me is Arnold from Toybox. He's actually on Twitch right now live, so you can check him out. Arnold, go ahead and plug in your Twitch, man. What is your Twitch channel name?
I am Toybox, and hold on for a second. Let's go over here. It's twitch.tv/Toybox. It's TOYB0XX. Again, that's I'm sorry, not twitch.tv/Toybox, TOYB0XX.
Nice. All right. So if anybody's wondering, like, what in the heck is Edwin doing on a live chat on Monday? I was about to say Sunday. It kind of feels like a Sunday, but it's not. Actually, real quick, happy Memorial Day to everybody. I don't know if anybody has anybody serving in the military, anybody's passed away in the military over the past few years, but definitely want to say happy Memorial Day to everybody. And I hope that everybody's at least enjoying time with family and showing appreciation and gratitude towards our soldiers who have served and who are currently serving in our U.S. military. What we're going to do right now is we're going to talk a little bit about Solo, because the box office numbers are in and it does not look good at all. Not at all, dude. So let's go ahead and get in a couple plugs. Arnold, won't you let us know what you're doing? Just kind of dish out some info, because once we get rolling and start talking about the Star Wars stuff, we're going to get thumbs down. We're going to probably get some hate and all this other stuff. But so let's go ahead and get all that stuff in. I'll let you go first.
I'll be doing most of my plugs here on twitch.tv/Toybox. Again, that's twitch.tv/Toybox, TOYB0XX. And what I've been doing is been watching your channel, Strictly Comics. Check them out at twitter.com /Strictly Comics, and YouTube. Check him out. It's Comics, COMIX. Check him out. He does pretty good stuff regarding comic book related stuff and whatnot. So, and also I've been watching or listening to podcasters of the universe, and they talk about He-Man quite a bit and other collectible stuff, toys related and toy lines and whatnot as well. But it's mostly He-Man. Pretty good stuff. You can check them out on iTunes or Podomatic or wherever you get your podcasting fix. Download that. If you're on iTunes, give them a 5-star rating and tell them that Toybox sent you. So, what's up, Jeremy?
Jeremy's in the house. I got Iron Galactus on my end. I want to say hi to Iron Galactus, Jason Smith, comic book brother again. He is still defending Solo, and good for him. Don't get me wrong, everybody. Here's the thing. I don't want Star Wars to fail. I really, really don't. I want Star Wars to do great. But the way that things are being ran right now by Lucasfilm, aka Kathleen Kennedy, they are going to drive this franchise into the ground, because they are completely out of touch with reality, with the fans, and they just have their own perspective on how they think things ought to be ran, and then in their little tiny bubble, and it's not being ran correctly. Arn, I don't know about you, man, but whenever I go into a small business, big business, whatever the case may be, you usually look to go and give your money to somebody that's going to give you good customer service, because I don't know about you, man, but I work hard for my money.
Right.
And I'm not going to just hand my money over to some crap. And I feel like that's the direction of Star Wars right now. It's crap.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're unsatisfied with a product or the direction of the product it's going in particular, you just vote with your wallet. And apparently thousands, if not millions of people have done that worldwide with Solo Star Wars story.
Yeah, and I have been kind of keeping up with the Rotten Tomatoes score. It has actually gone up a little bit. I'm not going to deny facts, everybody. So even though I hate the direction of Star Wars, and I probably wouldn't piss on the franchise if it was caught on fire right now. I just I have been kind of keeping up with the Rotten Tomatoes score, and let me see if I can find it real quick. I think it was at about a 60%.
61 right now.
So it's gone up even more.
Yep. And 54% the last time we did a live cast of this to a 61.
So I'm on Rotten Tomatoes live right now, or Flickster, and it's at a 60. So people have said it's better than The Last Jedi, which I hope so, because I feel like it wouldn't take a lot to be better than The Last Jedi at this point. But you know, if the audience rating continues to go up, then that's awesome. I will probably see it. I'm not going to pay money to see it, but I may eventually see Solo. I'm not really anxious to see it or anything like that. It might be just one of those things where if I'm just bored, I don't have anything to do, you know, maybe I go see it. It's not going to be while it's in theaters, that's for sure. And it's not going to be like as soon as the DVDs and Blu-rays drop. That is also for sure. But I think I might eventually see it. The thing is about Solos, it doesn't really have much to do with, you know, episodes 7, 8, and 9. It's just kind of a side story of probably the second or third most popular Star Wars character that's out there. But it just doesn't. To me, it just doesn't have much to do with the continuity and the canon of Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. This is a project that was not wanted or desired by the fan base at all. They just did it. Disney did it. I mean, if I was in Disney's shoes, I would have done it as well, even if the fans didn't really request it or not, because it's Star Wars. I mean, people want to know the backstories of these characters, of these legacy characters. But the handling of how Disney has been doing it, it's so backwards and confusing that that's the result of the failure of this movie. The movie flopped bad, and like I said, the last cast last week, it was too many cooks in the kitchen. There's really no leadership, it seems like, at Lucasfilm. They just I don't know, they want to do a million things, but you can't focus on one. It's like, you know, a corporate version of ADD.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. A comic book brother says that Knights of the Old Republic should be the new direction.
Exactly. A lot of people are saying to go to the Knights of the Old Republic. They want to see that, or even I talked to my wife, or even the Thrawn trilogy. Was a General Thrawn should be in the movie, tell his story or something, because that's still considered canon. I got book 1 right now in my hand. I'm showing it on stream. Heir to the Empire. I'm going to be not streaming. I'm going to be reading that here pretty soon. Book 1 of the Thrawn trilogy that should be made into a movie.
Now I don't know much about, you know, Star Wars Old Republic, but isn't that based on a video game?
Yes. They originally came out. From my knowledge, Xbox One, I think PC. They came out on PC first, I want to say, and then the old Knights of the Old Republic 2 came out. That was for the original Xbox, 2001 to 2002. I think the second one came out in 2002. But the Old Republic, Electronic Arts and BioWare came together to make this MMO. And it tells even more story, and, you know, expands the Star Wars universe and the video game format. And it's a pretty good game. I just have my only problem with the Star Wars Old Republic is that you have to put money towards the game a lot. Yeah,
so like a lot of microtransactions.
A lot of microtransactions.
Forget that crap.
Yeah, I mean, I currently play Elder Scrolls Online, and they provide content. Yes, you have to pay. You could pay for it through the crowns or otherwise, but it's worthwhile content. Whereas Star Wars is just, I don't know, it put a sour taste in my mouth. How EA was handling that. But anyways,
no, I'd love to talk video game stuff. I mean, as a matter of fact, I have the Force Unleashed, and I haven't gotten very far on it, but what I did play was actually really, really fun. So
yeah, the combat in both Force Unleashed 1 and 2 is pretty good. It's just I don't know, when you deflect their blaster bolts back at them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just, I don't know, it just felt a little weird with that one as well.
Okay. So we are going to talk a little bit about Solo. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because we got a kind of a lot to get through right now. The numbers are in, like we mentioned earlier, but it is not looking good for this franchise right now. So right now I'm actually sharing my screen, and I'm going to go ahead and put up Box Office Mojo. That's usually the site that I kind of go to get all my box office information. And what you're looking at right now, everybody, is you're actually looking at just the 3-day weekend. This right here would be your weekend numbers if we did not have Memorial Day Monday. You'd be looking at Star Wars Solo Star Wars story at just shy of 85 million opening weekend. Now, that is scary if you are Disney and you're looking at a $4 billion property that you just purchased, 5 or 6 years ago.
Right. Yeah, especially with the amount of money they already put forth into the first wave of Solo before firing those two directors. It was $250 million budget. And then they got rid of the directors, reshot most of it, scrapped 80%, reshot it. And it's probably around 300, I'm guessing 320, 325 easy million. Easy. So will they recoup that? No.
I don't think so either. I think they're going to lose money on this. They're
going to lose at least I don't know, $1.5 million too on this, because even with through streaming, I know with the Star Wars movies, was it I'm thinking of Rogue One. I had a brain fart there. Apologize. Yeah, Rogue One was streaming on Netflix, and even if it was on Netflix, it won't garner that much. I don't think that much attention. Even with DVD and Blu-ray sales, Blu-rays in my location is still friggin' expensive. Brand new is like $25. So I don't think it's gonna. Not for a while.
Yeah, that's gonna be an eBay purchase for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay brand new for any of that stuff anymore. So let me go ahead and just close this out, because as much as we want to look and say, this is what it should have been projected as a, 3-day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is not the reality. And it's not the reality that Disney and Lucasfilms is going to use when letting everybody know the numbers in Entertainment Weekly and everywhere else that is posted. This is actually what they're going to be going by. They're going to be going by the holiday weekend, and you're going to be looking at Solo Star Wars story at 103 million domestically for its first weekend in release. Now, so you're looking at what, $20 million more, just under $20 million more. This is still not good, because I think that the projection of this movie at one point they had it as high as 170 million, and then once they started to see that there was just no interest at all to see this movie, they actually started lowering their realistic projections of the story, and I think it got as low as like 115, 120 million dollars. And as we can see, this is well below that.
Yeah, I'm looking at movies right now and trying to see what is coming out here pretty soon, because Memorial Weekend for Solo might be the end of it for the movie. It will still be in the theater trying to get more money, but the attention and popularity of it, the buzz, as I'm trying to say, it will be gone by the end of this weekend. I'm trying to see what is coming out here pretty soon.
Well, I'll tell you what, while you're looking at that, let me just be clear to those who are watching, or those who may be watching once this uploads. Guys, we need to be clear that this movie's not going to make any money. It's not going to make any money. I don't think, especially at these opening weekend numbers, my gut was telling me between 800 and 900 million when it was all said and done. Looking at these numbers, I don't even think that it's going to reach that. I might be more along the lines of feeling comfortable with the $650 million budget. With all the reshoots, they say Ron Howard shot up to 70-80% of this movie. It already had a $250 million budget. I think conservatively we said that it would be around a $300 million movie. Plus the theater takes a percentage. You need to have money going into your advertising. So let's just say it's typically about 3 times its budget is what a movie typically has to make in order for it to break even. So let's just say again, conservatively speaking, this Solo, a Star Wars story, has to make $750 million to break even. If it does not make that, and in my strong belief, I think it needs to make 800 or 900 million, it's not going to make any money. If anybody knows how Hollywood works and how these box office numbers are projected, and how the production studio has to factor all this stuff in before it starts considering profit being made. It has to make at least 3 times its budget in order to break even. And I strongly believe that Solo is going to lose money.
So I'm looking at upcoming movies right now, and Ocean's 8, which is a female versions of Ocean's 11, of what we've known and loved, even the classics of Ocean's, excuse me, Ocean 11, Frank Sinatra and whatnot. This is a female version of it. Excuse me. All right, Throat, you can stop. All right, in June 8th, that movie comes out in June 8th. Hereditary is a horror movie where it's like The Omen, but you got a little girl. Evils passed on through generation to generation through the DNA or something like that. So that's June 8th again. Those are 2 movies that are going to be very popular. Incredibles 2 comes out. That's going to be huge. June 15th that comes out. And then let's see, we got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That comes out. That's going to be even bigger. June 22nd. So Disney was relying on Memorial Day weekend to get Solo, get a lot of buzz and a lot of profit with that property, and that they didn't do that. So after this is pretty much it for the weekend. I don't see them making any more money. If they do, it's just it'll trickle in, not much though, not like millions, but like not like Deadpool or Infinity War pulled by all means. But yeah, by next month, Solo is pretty much going to be forgotten.
Yeah, and let's go and look at this since you brought that up. Deadpool, of course, is number 2, and I'm actually sharing my screen again. It dropped 56, just over 56%, which I kind of expected because I didn't think Deadpool 2 was actually really great. What I would actually be curious to see is in the next 2 or 3 weeks, does Deadpool continue to make a little bit less than Solo, or does that actually get flipped around to where Deadpool actually starts making more money each week than Solo? Because from what I'm seeing, because I showed my 3-day weekend, Deadpool had dropped like 65%, and then when you add in the extra day of Monday Memorial Day, it only dropped 56.2. So it goes to show that people are seeing Deadpool still, and even look at Infinity War. Infinity War made over $21 million during this holiday weekend. It dropped only 28% from the previous week. So people are still seeing Deadpool and Infinity War. So I don't think that Solo is kind of hogging everybody's money and movie outgoing this weekend. I think people are still seeing other movies that are available.
Yeah, I still see Infinity War continuing even till next month. It'll be my prediction by mid-June. That's when it'll be pulled from theaters because it's that popular right now. Deadpool 2, I was disappointed as well. I've seen that movie. Wasn't as good as the first one by any means. It was still entertaining. It did progress the Deadpool's story a little bit further, but it wasn't as entertaining. And you could tell it's different writer and directors and whatnot, even though Ryan Reynolds is like 100% involved. He's a producer, executive producer. He's co-written both movies, but you can tell there's a little something different about it, and I didn't really care for it. But that Deadpool 2 and DVD and Blu-ray sales is going to skyrocket again once that hits home theater. So,
well, I think I've already been seeing. I don't want to get too far into Deadpool, but I think I've already been seeing that they've already announced an extended cut for Deadpool 2 Blu-ray once it's released. So that would actually be interesting to check out once that is released. But if anybody's just joining us, shout out to Justin, Exile State Comics. He just joined us. We're just kind of talking about the Solo Star Wars story, the box office numbers coming in for the first weekend of its release, and it's coming in well below Disney and Lucasfilm's expectations. Arnold is going to probably kind of lead here in a little bit, but he had mentioned he had actually sent me a couple of articles, and actually I will leave these articles in the link of the video once I get done with this live stream, and so everybody who wants to take a look at it. Arnold, I actually have the article up right now. My screen is presenting. You can actually talk about this if you want. I got the IndieWire article up right now where it was talking about people's moviegoers are more on a budget, which is why they said that Solo didn't make as much money. And then the other crabby excuse that they gave was that people are Star Wars fatigued, which I also disagree with.
Right.
What thoughts do you have about all this?
Star Wars, this is the type of franchise that will continue for the next 10 years. Easy. I think, they announced Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett. They can do, just about anything with these legacy characters. So in that article there, I forget his name. He was in Disney. I think he
wrote the article.
No. The guy that they interviewed, he was executive of Disney of distribution, and he was talking about that Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and Solo was kind of cramped together. He was saying something like, I'm just paraphrasing right now. I don't have the article up on my end, but he was saying something along the lines of just last month was Infinity War, and Deadpool 2 was earlier this month, and then you got Han Solo. But I'm thinking to myself, well, this is a problem with Disney. I mean, you guys project this stuff, right? And why didn't you just move it away from those movies or from those blockbusters?
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I can get that, but to me, I feel like I don't know, man. If people want to see a movie bad enough, not everybody's going to budget themselves to be like, oh, we only got enough money to see one movie this weekend, so we're only going to see one. Dude, if people want to see more movies, they will go and see more movies.
They're going to see them. Yeah,
they're going to see them. So, I mean, you know how it is. Like when you're kids, man. Like, dude, when I was a kid, I don't know about you, man, but I used to live at the movie theater.
Right.
My parents would drop me off and pick me up like 6 hours later.
Yeah, I was the same way, man. Especially when my late teens, early 20s, I used to watch a movie like 2 movies a week, just about.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of a poor excuse. I think we all knew once Disney acquired Lucasfilms that, especially after like the first year or two, they're like, yo, they're going to put out a Star Wars movie like every year for like the next 10, 20 years. Right. And I was excited about that. I had no problem with that. I wasn't like, oh man, I'm going to get Star Wars fatigue. I didn't care about that. I was excited about it. Like I want to see Star Wars succeed. I want to see some really good stories. I want to see some lightsabers. I want to see some, you know what I'm saying, some stormtroopers and just a lot of fighting action and whatnot. Like that didn't bother me. But with the quote unquote storytelling that Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms are putting out now, I just have little to no interest with what they're doing, because, and I think most of it has to do with the fact that they destroyed or got rid of their 3 main characters, which we talked about the other night. And once you got rid of them, it's like, I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about Rey. I don't care about Finn. I don't care about Kylo Ren. I don't even care about these characters. You destroyed what people cared about. And now that you destroyed that, there's really nothing else to look forward to.
Yeah, there's in my personal opinion, the decisions that Disney has done so far of how they're handling the franchise is very disappointing. I mean, like I said in the last cast, with Disney's takeover or handling of the franchise, the only good thing was Rogue One, in my personal opinion, and that should never be. I mean, it should be. The bar is so high for them, and it's like T-ball. They were set up with a home run with each movie, and they're just flubbing.
Yeah, they were set up. But if anybody wants to read this article, like I said, they're already making excuses for why Star Wars is not getting the numbers that they thought it would get, and nobody's pointing the blame at themselves. They're again pointing the blame at moviegoers and fans, and nobody's taking responsibility or accountability for their own mistakes. Now, did you read the? I'm showing right now the CNN article. Did you read that one or no?
Some of it, yeah.
Do you want to touch on that? Because I don't know anything about it.
That's what it is. Dave Hollis, Disney distribution chief. In this article, he was talking about how the big blockbusters was the Infinity War and Deadpool were like back to back, and then after that you had Solo, Star Wars story. But again, it's just like, you guys are projecting this. Why didn't you just move that away? I know Deadpool 2 was pushed earlier or ahead to move out of the way for Solo, only to find out that Solo flopped. So
And here's what I also think a lot of it is. I think that Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy thinks that Star Wars is too big to fail.
In some cases, yes. But too, I don't know. It's too big to fail unless you want it to.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars goes well beyond the United States of America. I mean, people in England and the UK, they love Star Wars, man. So
Yeah.
To have this mindset that no matter what crap we put out, people are going to eat it up and they're gonna pay for whatever crap we put out. I think is a serious undermining and misconception in their part, because it just goes to show that when I think of the Bible, I think of what does it say, that before a fall, pride comes before a fall. And I think that with the mindset of thinking that Star Wars is too big to fail, now you're actually starting to see this franchise start to dip and people are losing interest in it quickly. So what do you think Lucasfilms and Disney has to do to get the general audience and fan interest back into the Star Wars brand?
If I was in Disney's shoes, I would put Star Wars on hold. That's one. Put Episode 9 on hold, even though it's hyped up for I think next year, something like that. But again, if I was in Disney's shoes and I didn't have Episode 9 scheduled, I would put that on hold, focus on Marvel and other properties, internally make some adjustments within Lucasfilm, get rid of people, put people in, stuff like that. And I don't know. It's tough because Disney is very controlling of their properties. But it's just I'm comparing it. I'm thinking of Marvel Studios and how they're successful, and how Star Wars is failing. Is like, why can't they be like Marvel and have the Midas touch? I mean, but I don't know. That's what I would do. Episode 9, put that on hold. All those Star Wars projects, put that on hold. Focus on Marvel and other properties until we reorganize and reassess and reorganize Lucasfilms, and then resume it once everything's ready again.
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
I don't know if you can see my screen, but I got it on Box Office Mojo, and I got it on the expected release date for Star Wars Episode 9. They have a release date for December the 20th of 2019. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to end up pushing that date back. I don't think they're going to release Episode 9 just 18 months out from now. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, because J.J. Abrams is suddenly now the director for the third movie, part of this trilogy, where he was just only for Force Awakens. The original director for Episode 9 was fired, and they scrambled in J.J. Abrams. I assume is because of the failure of The Last Jedi. They did this before Solo was even released in theaters. So I think what they've done is they've seen The Last Jedi profitability and complaints, and it was like, oh crap. Even though The Last Jedi was profitable for them, but the fans was starting to become, I would say, by the week, upset with the franchise, and they said, "Oh, let's get Abrams back in here to fix things."
Well, not only that, but China pushed The Last Jedi out. Like, they didn't even have it. They didn't even want it showing in China. And that also, with the crappy film that it was, made $700 million less than Episode 7, The Force Awakens.
Man.
So I don't know what's going on with Kathleen Kennedy, Lucasfilms, but they need to get it together, and they need to get it together quick. I've even heard people say as shocking things as they just need to reboot The Last Jedi, and because most people don't even consider it as a part of canon, as a part of the Star Wars universe, because it was such a crappy film. They would love to see a reboot of that. Like, maybe, I don't know, Luke wakes up and it's all a dream or something. I don't know, but nobody is really interested or enthusiastic about going to see Episode 9 right now at this point.
Yeah, especially again with Solo, how it flopped so hard and so quick and so unexpected. I mean, I seen the trailers, like, I'm not really that interested, but I didn't think it was going to bomb nosedive this fast. over a weekend. Holy cow! Not even over a weekend. By Saturday, it was bombing. So and it came out on Friday, I think, about 3 days ago. So and it bombed so quick. I was shocked, and to hear that worldwide, domestically, it made 110 mil. Worldwide, it was only 65. That was it.
Yeah, it's not looking good. It really isn't. And as a matter of fact, when you look at what comes out in the upcoming weeks, you have I've never heard of this before. The Misandrist. I don't know how to say that. You also got Ocean's 8, which I think that's going to flop. I don't think a lot of people are going to see that. And then you also got Hereditary, which comes out June 8th. You got Hotel Artemis. You got Nancy. You got the Workers' Cup. So that actually kind of looks like a slow week for Hollywood. So people may gravitate and see Solo because a lot of these movies that are coming out in the next week or so are not really, big movies. You really don't have a big film until June the 15th, where Incredibles 2 comes out.
Right.
I think once Incredibles 2 comes out, that will pretty much be the beginning of the end for Solo. It's just going to continue to dive more and more to the point to where it's just going to be out of theaters very quickly, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially when what do you say? When it was Incredibles 2? I forgot that.
June 15th.
15th, and then was it Jurassic World? I think I said it was the 22nd, the week after that. So once Jurassic World, the sequel hits theaters, Solo's done. It's done.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to start pulling that, if not by next week or the week after that. And yeah, it's my personal opinion. It's bombed so bad. They lost so much money. The budget was originally, again, with Solo 250 million, and then with the reshoots, it's well into the 300 million mark, and they made 110 million. They lost $2 million bucks, if not more. And yeah, that's a huge bomb. They have to make at least, I would say, up to 75% profitability to consider it a successful movie. And they didn't even get close to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, again, everybody go read these articles if you want to. Star Wars is definitely taking a big slump. I also have Arnold the Variety article showing right now with the box office. A Star Wars Story stumbles with 103 million holiday opening weekend. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to touch on that or if we covered it, but that is actually showing right now on my screen.
Yeah, it's just disappointing. I mean, I was just to think about the story of Han Solo. They could have done adventures, and then at the end of the movie, go to the cantina in Tatooine to have a drink with Chewbacca and go, we did this. And then boom, that's when episode 4 starts, but instead of starting episode 4, obviously there'll be credits or, something. And that's how it should have ended. But yeah, I don't know. It's very disappointing to see the production. I feel bad for Ron Howard. He got thrown into this. I'm sure he got a pretty penny for doing that to put a giant Band-Aid on the Solo movie, but and the stress that he was probably under to get things going quick and to meet that deadline. Man, I hate to be in that situation.
Yeah. Justin says Star Wars burnout due to poor storytelling. I'd agree. He also says Incredibles 2 hype. He says, I still find it funny that a movie making 100 million is a failure. LOL. We live in a screwed up world indeed. Hey, I mean, a lot of films fail that make, they have $100 million, $200 million production budget. Quite a few films did that. I remember the Terminator movies. After Terminator 2, like it seemed like every other one they put out wasn't a very big success. And I don't think very many of them actually made money.
Especially Terminator 2. That was a lightning in a bottle. That was huge back in 91. Huge.
Yeah. But I also think that people don't care about all these SJW politics, these identity politics that they're trying to, force people to accept in these Star Wars films. We haven't really talked a whole lot about that, and I don't think we need to go into that a whole lot right now because I think we are getting into about an hour 45 minutes to an hour of time already. I would love to talk about that at one point, but I think that is a serious problem, and I can definitely break it down. What exactly it is that they're doing that a lot of the general public is not seeing, and how it's kind of targeting young people to sexualize them and to get them to accept these identity politics and stuff like that. And I think that some of the general audience and some of the parents are aware of this, and they're just like, they're not going to put up with it. They don't care if it is a Star Wars movie. They're not going to be a part of all this brainwashing and social engineering that Disney and Lucasfilms is trying to put upon people. So I don't really have much else, man. You got anything else you want to add?
No, not really. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I originally don't. Before we covered this, I didn't think it was going to fail this hard and this fast, but I didn't want the movie to fail, to be honest. I love Star Wars. But the way things are going with Disney, it's like, man, what are you guys doing? And then, just hit rock bottom. This is Disney's rock bottom with Star Wars franchise right now. So I hope they will correct the ship and won't hit the iceberg. Well, they already did, but hopefully they'll fix the damage and go down the right path after this one. But like I said in the last cast, it feels like they went down to the dark side.
I know, right? Yeah. So, well, hopefully they'll do what we suggest and they'll pump the brakes and just kind of put Star Wars on hold for a little bit, so they can have all their staff meetings and kind of reassess everything and what they should do. Because if they do not cater to the fans and cater to what people want, they're going to destroy this franchise and run it into the toilet. And it makes no sense. I don't know about you, man, but if I'm buying something, I'm looking to make money off of it, not spend $6 billion just to flush it down the toilet because I want to incorporate everything with my own identity politics and all this other stuff. So hopefully they get their act together. If not, it's going to be spectacular to see this crashing ship go down and sink to the bottom of the ocean. Because let's just be honest, it's actually more entertaining watching Star Wars crash and sink than the actual movies that they're putting out lately. If you go look at YouTube, I'm one of the the least YouTubers that are talking about this. There's actually much bigger YouTubers that are out talking about this stuff right now, and they are just seeing what is happening with this franchise, and a lot of people don't see it, but this franchise is just really, really destroying itself from the inside out at this point.
Yes, it is. I'm going to go to my Celebration Cinema website in my area and see just to see the damage. Just to see how I'm sorry, I'm multitasking right now. I'm stumbling my words. To see how the seats, because the last time we did this, it was like no one going to the theaters.
Yeah, there was still a lot of empty seats available.
Yeah, I mean, tonight at 10 p.m., no one has reserved seats. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people are going to 14, 15 people are going to watch the movie tonight. And theater's practically empty. And then tomorrow, that was tonight at 10 p.m. my time, Eastern time. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 29th, May 29th, 10 p.m. That's the last showing. Sign as guest. There's no IMAX.
XL State says Star Trek forever.
But yeah, XL State, I agree with your comment that you said earlier. $100 million is a failure. We live in a screwed up world indeed. I agree, dude. It's just $100 million is considered a failure. But okay, so it's May 29th, tomorrow. My time, 10 p.m. Last showing. They don't even have Blu-ray, D-Box, not Blu-ray. What was it? 3D, D-Box, and all that stuff is not even an option. It's just strictly a 2D. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people are going to see this movie tomorrow night.
Well, it is a weekday night, so I kind of wouldn't expect a whole lot of people to
Right. Even tonight, granted, everybody's going to be working in the morning tomorrow, but still, I mean, no one's really watching this thing. So let's change the time again. Let's do 7:30. All right, it's loading in. Okay, a little bit more people. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 25 people for tonight's 7:30 showing. So, yeah, it's not looking good for Solo. I wish it was different.
Well, I think that we'll be back maybe Friday. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe we'll come back Friday and talk about this as we continue to look at the numbers. I think we'll definitely see more of what Solo is going to look like as the box office numbers continue to develop from the first and second week. But I think I'm going to project right now at least a 60 to 65% drop in Solo from the first week to the second week.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks, man. It's depressing. As a fan of Star Wars, it's depressing to see this because this is once again in our lifetime we're seeing, you know, Disney acquires Star Wars. We hoped for improvement in storytelling more so than George Lucas, but at this point in time, I wish George Lucas was back. That's bad. That's just bad right now. But hopefully in our children's lifetime or great grandchildren's lifetime, it'll be a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll see. So that's all that I got. Go ahead and check out I uploaded 2 videos over the past couple of days. If anybody wants to check that out, we got a couple of reaction videos, got a Deadpool 2 movie review. That's pretty much all I got going on. Arnold, you want to plug in what you got going on? Any last shout outs, any thoughts, last shout outs, anything like that?
Let's see. I'm currently streaming right now on twitch.tv/toybox. Again, that's twitch.tv/toybox, TOYB0XX. And I do this on the weekends. Live stream Elder Scrolls Online. Next week, I'm going to be starting what I call play review. And what that is it's strictly for the horror genre. And only because I like to get scared. And what I do is I play a scary game, indie horror game. And once I get done with it, I review it live on Twitch and give it a 1 through 5 score. And I like to promote developers to help them out, fine tune their craft and whatnot. So, and give them shout outs as I'm doing it. So I'll probably do like 3 or 4 different indie horror games. Probably do a AAA title like Outlast 2, Amnesia, Dark Descent, Machine of Pigs, something, and just give it just do a live review on it. I think it's unique, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. And then on the side, I do Elder Scrolls Online as well.
Nice.
But yeah, Podcasters of the Universe, Facebook here. I'm going to post the link in the chat, and on my Twitch channel right now, you can see the screen. Give me a moment, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasters of the Universe. They talk about He-Man, all things He-Man, and other collectibles as well, and different toy lines. They're a bunch of geeks, and I love them. So check them out. It's a podcast, Podomatic, iTunes. And if you go to iTunes, download their latest episode, give them a 5-star rating, and tell them, hey, Toybox sent me. So
nice. All right, everybody. I believe that's it. We will see you guys next time. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We always appreciate it. Keep God first in your life. Enjoy your comic books, your movies, your video games. And until next time, everybody, have a great, great week. Talk to you later.